Good morning. Today we are going to discuss the second unit, solar energy. The content of this unit are introduction to solar energy, application of solar energy, advantages of solar energy, disadvantages of solar energy, solar constant, beam radiation, diffused radiation, and total or global radiation. And at the last of this topic, we discuss some multiple choice questions. Before we are going to study the solar energy, let us discuss first what are the sources of energy. As we know that energy is the prime requirement of existing life, energy sources can be classified into several forms based on their availability and uses. They are primary and secondary sources, commercial and non-commercial sources, renewable and non-renewable sources. The non-renewable sources are conventional fossil fuels such as coal, oil, gas, etc., which are available in limited quantity and are likely to be depleted with the time. So, we are thinking the renewable source of energy which cope up the requirement of our existing life. There are number of renewable sources such as solar energy, tidal energy, wind energy, and so on. The solar, the energy produced and radiated by the sun, more specifically known as sun energy that reaches the earth's surface. Solar energy has the greatest potential of all the sources of renewable energy. Solar energy received in the form of radiation and can be converted directly into other form of energy such as a heat and electricity. Energy is radiated by the sun as electromagnetic waves, of which 99% have a wavelength in the range of 0.2 to 1 micrometer. Solar energy reaching the top of the Earth's atmosphere consists of 8% of ultraviolet radiation, 46% visible light, and 46% of infrared radiation. As application of solar radiation, there are a number of applications of using solar radiation, but a few are commonly listed here. Heating and cooling of residential building. As we know that the solar energy are used in multi-storage building for cooling as well as heating purposes. Then in the normal domestic, the solar water heaters are used to heat the water, and in some of the agricultural and animal product drying, the solar energy can also be utilized. In some of the small communities where hard water is available, to remove the salt content from the water, solar distillations are also employed. And in some of the areas or villages, solar cookers are used to cook the food. And at the same way, food refrigeration and also in solar furnaces, the solar energy can be employed. Now let us discuss some of the advantages of solar energy. Among all the benefit of the solar panel, the most important thing is that solar energy is truly a renewable energy source. It can be harnessed in all areas of the world and it is available every day. Second one is reduced electricity bill. Since you will be meeting some of your energy needs with the electricity your solar system has generated, your energy bill will drop. Moreover, not only you will be saving on the electricity bill, but there is also a possibilities to receive payment for the surplus energy that you export back to the grid through the smart export guarantee. Diverse application. The solar energy can be used for diverse applications such as to generate electricity, to generate heat, that is a solar thermal. Solar energy can be used to produce electricity in areas without access to the energy grid, to distill water in region with limited clean water supplies, and a power to the satellite in a space. These are the diverse application. And the next one is a low maintenance cost. Solar energy system generally don't require any maintenance. You only need to keep them relatively clean. So cleaning them a couple of times per year will do the job. Also, there are no relative moving parts. There is a no wear and tear. And the last one is the technology development. Technology in the solar power industry is constantly advancing and improvement will intensify in the future. There are few advantages and let us discuss some disadvantages. As we know that the initial cost of purchasing a solar system is fairly high. This includes paying of solar panels, inverters, batteries, wiring and the installation. Then the next one is weather dependent. Although solar energy can still be collected during the cloudy and rainy days, the efficiency of the solar system drops. Solar panels are dependent on the sunlight to effective gather solar energy. Therefore, a few cloudy rainy days can have a noticeable effect on the energy system. You should also take into account that solar energy cannot be collected during the night. And the next one is solar energy storage is expensive. Solar energy has to be used right way or it can be stored in a large batteries. These batteries cost are very high and it will be expensive to store the solar energy. And the next one is use a lot of space. The more electricity you want to produce, the more solar panel you will need. As you want to collect as much sunlight as possible, solar PV panels are required a lot of space. And last one is associated with the pollution. The transportation and installation of solar panel roof solar panels have been associated with the emission of greenhouse gases. There are also some toxic material and hazardous product used during the manufacturing process of solar photovoltaic system which can indirectly affect the environment. These are certain disadvantages of using solar energy. Now let us discuss solar constant. The rate at which the solar energy arrives at the top of the atmosphere is called as a solar constant. It is denoted by ISC. I will repeat, the rate at which the solar energy arrives at the top of the atmosphere is called as a solar constant. It is denoted by ISC. Or we say that this is the amount of energy received in unit time on a unit area perpendicular to the sun direction at the mean distance of the earth from the sun. The NASA has given three different values for the solar constant. They are 1.353 kilowatt per square meter or 1353 watt per meter square or 116.5 Langlis per hour or we call as a calories per square centimeter. 429.2 BTU per square feet per hour. These are the three different values of solar constant, or we can also approximate it by the equation I by ISC is equal to equal to 1 plus 0.33 cos 360 n minus 2 divided by 365, or we can generalize 1 plus 0.033 cos 360 n divided by 365, where n equal to number of days per year, I equal to intensity of solar radiation that reaches the earth surface, and ISC equal to solar constant. Here the figure shows the solar radiation at the earth surface. There are different solar radiation which comes to the earth surface. Let us discuss one by one. The first one is the beam radiation. The solar radiation that has not been absorbed or scattered and reach the ground directly from the sun is called as a direction radiation or beam radiation. You see here, this is the direct beam which comes from the sun directly to the earth surface without a scattering. That is called as a beam or direct radiation. And the next one is diffused radiation. The diffused radiation is that solar radiation received from the sun after its direction has been changed by reflection and scattering by the atmosphere. The solar radiation is scattered in all directions in the atmosphere. Diffused radiation comes to the earth from all the part of the sky. We see here the radiation which are diffused or scattered to the other part and comes to the ground is called as a diffuse radiation. And the last one is total radiation, or also called by the name global radiation. The total radiation received at any point on the earth's surface is the sum of the direct and diffuse radiation. This is referred to in general sense as a insolation at that point. That means the radiation, the sum of the direct and diffuse radiation is called as a total radiation. Now let us discuss some of the multiple choice question on this session. The first question is, which of the following energy has the greatest potential among all the sources of renewable energy? The objectives are solar energy, B. wind energy, C. thermal energy, D. hydroelectrical energy. And the answer is solar energy. The second question is, in what form is solar energy is radiated from the sun? The objectives are A. ultraviolet radiation, B. infrared radiation, C. electromagnetic waves, D. transverse waves, and the answer is electromagnetic waves. Third is solar radiation which reaches the surface without scattering or absorbed is called. Objectives are A. beam radiation, B. infrared radiation, C. ultraviolet radiation, D. diffused radiation. And here the answer is A. beam radiation. The fourth question is, the scattered solar radiation is called. The objectives are direct radiation, B. beam radiation, C. diffused radiation, D. infrared radiation. And here the answer is diffuse radiation. Now the last is solar radiation received at any point of the earth is called A. insolation, B. beam radiation, C. diffuse radiation, D. infrared rays. And here the answer is insolation. The references for the above session is GD Rai, Khanna publication, non-conventional energy sources BH Khan, solar energy by HP Garg, and some of the Google search. Thank you.